Hello YouTube, this is Bryant Tubbs coming at you with another video. Just a quick, short and sweet video. Today I'm just making a rack for my air tubes. I have one up on the wall here if you guys can see it by the clock. I made that about 8-9 years ago. Never had any issues with it. There's I think like 12 air tubes up there hanging. It's just a neat little rack, you know, that you can make quickly, hang it up, just put your tubes on as opposed to having your air tubes laying all around every darn where. So in this video, I'm just going to be making like a two-piece rack. And I'm using my Hercules step drill bits. I get them from Harbor Freight, just to let you guys see them. I had them in a different video. Well, I talked about them in a different video because they're so good. They're Hercules Jam-Free Performance, a starter point, no walk fast start. So they don't do much walking when you start. And then the part number is HA22-62. They work extremely well. This is the first pack I bought. It's been more than a year ago, and they still work well. I just broke the tip off of one. It was my fault. It wasn't the bit's fault. I was going through a piece of stainless steel, got distracted, put the thing in reverse, the drill bit and drill gun in reverse, and turned my body, and just with the force, just snapped it off. But the other two are still working just fine. But I just went out and bought a new set a couple months ago. My excuse was that other tip broke. I really need to get more because the other one in the package will work, but they're only $30-something, so I had to go out and get them. Now, I also used to use Milwaukee's step bits, but I had nothing but problems. I mean, I would drill through stainless steel, and these things would just snap like toothpicks. This is the big one. This I think it's a 3/4, and this is your standard. I think it goes from an 1/8 up to a 1/2 inch, but they just snap like crazy. I think I paid almost $60 for this one bit, and it lasted probably 2 or 3 drilled holes through 3/8 stainless steel, and it just snapped. So I have boxes of these things, Milwaukee's, just laying around. But with these Hercules, like I said, I've had this one for more than a year. And it just, like I said, the one just snapped, the tip, very tip, because it was the smallest one in the pack. It snapped because of my fault. But these things drill through stainless steel with no problem. They just go. I don't even use any type of oil or anything. I just go right through and no problem. And again, these are Hercules, Harbor Freight for like $34 or something like that, for a pack of 6 at the time of the video anyway. All right, so what I'm doing is this is going to be the bottom portion of the rack. And just for example, as you can see up there, I have a slight angle on here with angles up. So the weight of these is not just pulling down on a flat piece of metal, because this is only I think 14 gauge just mild steel. I just had some laying around. But when I put this bend in it, it strengthens it. So I just put that little bend in it, and then I have 2 more holes to drill, but I've drilled 10 holes in here already. And then after I get all the holes drilled, I'm going to take my cutoff wheel and just cut from the back of the hole all the way out to the edges. And what that will do is allow for this little lip on the air inlet to just slide in there and just rest on there like that. So, and then with this, because I think with the one on the wall, it was one piece. It was like 6 or 7 inches width-wise. You know, from front to back, it was like 6.5, 7 inches by 24 inches. But I didn't have a 6 or 7 inch wide piece that's laying around. I wasn't going to go and buy more metal to make this. So I'm just going to add this piece to the back. So what I'll do is just lay it on there, tack it on in a few spots, take my plasma cutter and just cut this edge off just to make it look a little bit better on both sides, just kind of round it off. And then I have my holes already punched. So all I have to do is just drill my holes through here. This spot and this spot, they're 16 inches apart, so studs are 16 on center. So once I get this tacked on, get all this cleaned up, I'll just screw it on into the wall. I don't even paint them. I just leave them raw. I mean, I'm in the shop. I don't need it to look pretty. I just need it to be functional. So I'm going to drill these last 2 holes. Then I'll get my my cutoff wheel and start making the other cuts. All right, guys, it's going to be a little noisy, but you can check it out. And again, this is I think 14, right around 14 gauge. You don't need anything really thicker than that. I mean, 12 gauge will be too thick. You won't be able to bend it as easy as I was able to bend this. But with this, in order to get my bend, I just measure a line. I think about 1 inch from tip to this point here. Laid a straight edge on there. Took my cutoff wheel and just ran it back and forth a few times to take some of the metal out, which weakened it a little bit, not much. Then I just put it into my vise. Just took it over to the vise and just put it in and just start working it all the way down the piece, just bending it over until I was able to get a nice straight, a fairly straight line through here. Like, again, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's just going to be hanging tubes from it. And so, I mean, it's fairly simple to do. If you have a drill, a cutoff wheel, a vise to bend it, a welder to tack it together, or you can just use just one piece. If you have a piece long enough, you just score this portion back here. If there's another section here, just score it, put in your vise, bend it up on a 90 because it's going to be flush against the wall, and then just put this. I don't know what this is, about 15, 20 degree angle, something like that. Just something so your tubes will slide into, and not just slide straight on, because they slide straight on and you bump the wall, they'll fall off. But like this, they're sitting in, they lock in like that. So let me drill these last couple holes, and then we'll go on to the next thing. Just like that, I'm through. All right, so this is 24 inches from here to here. Each of these are 2 inches apart. I started 1 inch off the end for the first one, 1 inch here, 1 inch here. So it's 1 inch in, and I went 2, 2, 2 all the way down. So it gives me enough slots for 12 twos to hang here. So I got the first hole. So now I'll make my hole. I'm gonna make my hole a bit wider. So when I slide this on, it'll just sit in, and won't be the holes won't be too big or too small. So let me get a kind of a measurement here to see what I got to do here. I think I'll go one more hole in and just see what that looks like. All right, here we go. Yep. So I'll go in 2 holes. One, two. That's how easy it just drills right through, just goes right through. I know this is 16 gauge, but those Milwaukees, I'll still be on the first hole trying to drill through it. So just to show you guys, I went from this hole about an 1/8 inch to this size, which is probably about 3/8, somewhere in there. All right, so now I got my holes drilled. Now I'm gonna get my cutoff wheel. And I'm going to just cut from this outer edge right to the inner edge here, the outer edge here, outer edge here. Just make it smooth. So when that 2 slides on, it'll just slide in there and just lock in. Pretty simple stuff. Keep you from having to go to some store and buying a rack for your air tubes. Just make your own. Doesn't take that long. All right, it's gonna be a little noisy. Just show you guys how it'll work. So this will be on your wall. You take your 2, slide it on there. It'll hang like that, just like that. That's simple. I've never had a tube fall off that wall in 8 years, 9 years, whatever it's been. Never. With all the banging I do in here, never fell off the wall. All right, now the slots are cut out. Now I'm gonna take the one of my other grinders with a 36 grit flat disc on here. I'm just gonna go in here and just kind of smooth it out a little bit. All right, I'll give this a shot, just see if it fits in all the slots. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, one was a little tight right here. I'm gonna just knock it out just a little bit. Open it up just a little bit. All right, so now it's a little bit rough on the back side from all the drilling and grinding. So I'm gonna take my flap disc and just kind of smooth this out a little bit. This is a 120 on here, so I'll just use what's on here. A 120 flap disc. All right, So what I'll do now is take this piece, drill the holes, smooth it out, and then I think I'm gonna cut these edges just round. I was gonna do a design in here to do it, but I'll just leave this because it's magnetic. So I can put magnets on here and hang other little small stuff on here if I wanted to. So I'll just do it like that. So I'm gonna drill some holes, 2 holes through here. All right, here we go. And what I was doing, I was drilling through this side, and then you're gonna have burrs and whatnot on the other side. So then I just took it and flipped it on this side, and the step bit, the one that's larger than when I drilled the hole, will knock most of that stuff off of there. All right, so now I'm gonna turn my plasma cutter on, knock this edge off, and then I'll just take my grinder and just kind of smooth it out a little bit better than what it will be. So I'll be right back. So I'm using my my Everlast 50 amp plasma cutter. So I'm just going to take the cutter and just kind of roll the edge just a little bit so it won't be sharp and looking crazy. All right, here we go. All right. I really like using that plasma cutter. It makes cutting metal really easy. It's almost like cutting butter. Whether it's 16 gauge, I use 1/4 inch, I use 1/2 inch. I've cut through 5/8. It doesn't matter. I said it'll cut up to, I think it's 1.25 inches. Then after that, it'll just sever anything above that, but I don't need anything that big anyway. If I want to cut, you know, inch and a half, I'll just take my oxyacetylene torch and use my cutting head and just cut something that big. But I generally don't have to do that. Even with the basis for our pieces, we do 1/4. Sometimes we'll do maybe 3/8, somewhere in there. But I generally don't make the bases much thicker than that because it'd be too heavy. So, all right, so now I'm gonna get this grinder with the 120 flap disc and just kind of roll this out a little bit. All right, that's good enough for what I'm doing. Just want to make it look a little bit better. I think it looks better like this than having these sharp edges like it was before. Just makes it look more finished to me. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is clamp this to the table, set this down on top, like so. Probably just set it on the back of it just a little bit, and then just tack it in. I don't need to weld the whole thing. I'll just tack it along in some spots on the end, somewhere in the center, just a few tacks. Again, this is, if I was making art, I mean, this is art, but it's rough art. So if I was making, a fine, finished piece, I would smooth everything out, because this even has some rust on it. I will get all the rust off and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not worried about that with this. All right, so I'm gonna just clamp it down. I normally don't wear my helmet, but for video's sake, I'll wear my helmet this time. Now whether I'll pull it down over my eyes, we'll see. I'm gonna take this bit out of here before this thing drill falls off the table and break my bit. These are the best bits that I have ever used. Even when I was in school, learning, CNC and all that stuff, we were using bits on the lathes and the CNC machines. And guys would bring these bits in, they would hit something, they would crash, and the bits would go flying everywhere. So I've broken many bits in school, even just your drill bits, but it's difficult to break these Hercules. The name Hercules is right for these bits. I love these things. All right, let me get this thing clamped down in a few spots. I have I delivered a piece just a couple weeks ago. It was based on a piece we call Curls. Delivered it to the lady and her husband, and they were extremely pleased with it. So now we have another large commission. We're just kind of working out some of the final details on the piece. Is going to be about 7 feet tall, somewhere in there. It's a guy that owns a packaging company. His friend also owns a packaging company. So he wants to surprise his friend with these. They're basically going to be boxes stacked up like Amazon. Like Amazon will just drop the boxes off at your house or your building, wherever. They'll just drop them, stack them up and leave. So that's kind of the theme he's looking for. So I'm going to have to just go ahead and put it together. I've already came up with a design. So now it's just a matter of getting all the approval and all that stuff, and then we'll just kind of move on with the piece. All right, let me see if I can get this thing to stay down. All right. I think I'll use a weight. I have these things laying around. I have 2 of them. This weighs, let me see. This weighs 20 pounds. It's 20 pounds of steel. So I have 2 of these laying around. So when I don't want to clamp something, I'll just put this on it, and it'll clamp it down. Just like that. So I have my Weld Pro MIG 210 LCD already fired up. Gas is on. I got it set for 10 gauge just to burn it in. But we'll see how that goes. All right, so I'm just gonna line it up here with these edges. Let's see here. Let's see. I have a little high spot. Well, there's some slag for when this piece was cut. Just a little bit right here. I'm gonna knock that off. All right. A little spatter on the table, but I'm not gonna worry about it. No. All right. Just want to get one good tack. Yeah, about here. looks pretty good. Probably not exactly .90 because I didn't line it up, but wow, pretty good. Not bad at all. So that's the project right there. I'm not going to weld all the way across, which I don't need to. There's no need to do that. I'm just put some tools on here. And that's what it will look like. Just like that. It'll be hanging from the wall, just like that. Then you have a shelf up here. Like I have like the wrenches and whatnot that goes to these. I have those laying up here on that. I also have like brushes up there. I have the oil for the tools. I'll put that on this rack. I'll take it off of there and put it on here. I think I'll mount this below that clock. There's a 16-ounce center stud over there, so I'll just put it up there. All right, guys. Just want to give you access to what I was doing, and just to kind of show you guys how to do it if you want to make one. Again, this is this 14 gauge mild steel. It's rusted, and I'm gonna leave it like that. I could clear coat it, but I probably won't. I mean, it's rounded edges. It looks smooth, looks finished. Like I said, this is 24 inches long. This bottom piece was 4.5 inches. Then I took my cutoff wheel with a straight edge and just ran the groove through here, and knocked some material off, which made it easier to fold it over a little bit. And then your slots, there's 12 slots in here. From this end, I went in 1 inch, made my first hole. And then I went 2 inches over from that, two, all the way down two, which left me 1 inch from this side. So that'll give you enough space for 13 tools. And if you can see on the wall, they're not all cluttered together. There's enough room for you to reach your hand up there and grab one off without knocking the other one off. Because if you put these slots closer, when you try and reach for one and pull it, you could pull the other one off of the hook because you're pulling it out and up. So just 2 inches apart is normally, for me, it's been a good deal. All right, guys, and you can, like I said, you can sand it down a little bit, grind it down a little bit. You can paint it any color you want to, make it look pretty. I might put a few decals on here or something. Now on that one, the back wall is like maybe 2 inches. So really no room to put decals or pretty that up. So I might just put a couple things up here because this is, what is this thing? I think it's like 4 inches or something. 3 5/8 wall here. All right, guys, so that's it. So I'll just call this my Air 2 wall hanger. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this video. I appreciate you tuning in. And as usual, peace out. I'll see you on the next video. All right, have a good one. Bye.